Lonely Attack on the Different World, web novel, Chapter 73. They got angry when I mentioned that since they are just dogs, they could have thrown a mix of garlic, pepper, and vinegar at them. Day 31, The Faraway Labyrinth, Floor 54. They are too strong, werewolf level 54, wolfmen, lycanthropes. They can often be seen even in movies, but I would like to pass on that. Though these are just very furry wolves walking on 2 feet. They look like a recolor of kobolds, but very strong. Just plainly strong and fast. That alone makes them overwhelmingly powerful. Even if we back them into a corner, they are too strong to go down that easily. There are 50 or 60 of them, and they are working in groups, attacking together and hunting. Not simply fighting, but they are looking for weak spots instead, and they use their forte to attack them. That is actually what is scary about them, and that is exactly how Haruka-kun fights. Which makes them even scarier. We can't chase them too deep. Even if we surround them, they are too fast to allow us to land a decisive blow. They have complete control over the battle. Making the first move, they do what they want, and then they also have the last move. They leave us no openings to exploit. When it appears like a charge, it turns out to be a battle of attrition. A battle of attrition turns out to be a blitz. An all-out attack is actually psychological warfare. They are totally playing with us, and there is nothing that we can do. We are merely holding out due to our individual abilities, but their individual strength is also high. Magic is avoided, defenses are outmaneuvered, and our attacks are not reaching them. And on top of that, they are pushing us back with brute strength. And we are gradually getting exhausted. This cannot continue. Changing our formation into an inverted semicircle, we wait for their attack. They aren't stupid enough to attack in the center, but this is what we want. The werewolves will surely aim for the flanks. With Kazaki-kun's group on the left and us on the right, we can allow the center to rest. Taking down as many of them as possible, even if it's just one werewolf, we will reduce their numbers and push them back by wounding the others. Those monsters will use any opportunity they get, but if they can't get any, they will try to shake things up and create one. That's why we have to take the initiative. If they attack us on the flanks, we will surely be able to get some of them. If we can't, then they will take us down. And once we crumble, it will all be over. 7 came from the right, 8 came from the left. All others are a diversion. They are trying to create chaos among us. Ha! A werewolf that struck out too close to the center got caught. An attack from all sides tears away at him. Pulling 2 werewolves that came to assist it, they strike at them, checking with a spear, bashing with a shield, driving in the spear from above, and then tearing off the heads with the shield. It's the duo from the volleyball club. In fact, the shield is responsible for offense, while the spear is for support. Inviting the enemy with a low stance, they then bash them from above, the vital part of the center. All other werewolves that were about to follow them into the center drew back. That's where the flanks are going on the offensive. Vice President C baits them with precise slashes, while Vice President A forces them into our range of attacks. As panicking werewolves are trying to make their way through, Vice President B and I pounce at them. Then, the combined attack of Vice President A and C cuts through them, separating werewolves, who are then killed one by one. As a result, the center got 3 of them. We took down 4 over here. Kazaki-kun and the others got 4 more, and the rear managed to get 3, 14 in total. The second wave was crushed by a preemptive attack from Oda-kun's group, killing 2 werewolves in the process. Then the girls from the athletic clubs that were positioned in the center go on the offensive. If we manage to encircle them, we will be able to annihilate them right here. But the enemy managed to pull back even faster. We also have no other choice but to fall back. We achieved our goal, reducing their numbers. Since we can use healing, they should want to avoid a prolonged battle. Phew! Next, get ready! Roger! The rear is working on a trap. The enemy will have to either break through or escape. We retreat from the floor. We manage to take down around 30% of them. Since the enemies don't respawn anymore, simply dwindling their numbers should open a path to victory. Our casualties are limited to injured. We can simply heal that, so our damage is not that big. And I'm going to keep it that way. I absolutely won't allow the lives saved by Haruka-kun to be taken by anyone. The dungeon monsters are not respawning. The dungeon is dead, meaning that the dungeon master awaiting on the lowest floor was killed. And the only person on the lowest floor is Haruka-kun. Apart from him, I don't know anyone dangerous enough to take down a level 100 dungeon master on their own. Then Haruka-kun must be heading towards the surface. Good job! Everyone pulled back! The Kazaki-kun group that served as the rear guard climbed to the 53rd floor. After a few more fights, we should be able to break through to 54th floor. It doesn't seem like there's a boss on the 55th floor, so we should still be able to push onwards. But I won't allow anything reckless. The girls from the culture clubs at the center are amazing. The athletic girls in Oda-kun's group who went for recon returned. Recently, thanks to a certain someone, I'm not calling some of the classmates by their names, thanks to a certain someone. In the first place, their abilities aren't suited for direct combat, and are better used for creating chaos and division. So if the Vanguard can hold up the enemies, things are bound to improve. They used illusion, debuffs, smokescreens, and I think they also did something to the ground itself. How villainous! Could it be that they are the same type as Haruka-kun? Watch your words! Yup, everyone is quite energetic. We are not at our limit yet. We became able to fight back even in such a disadvantageous situation, and our level also grew. We certainly got stronger. Are we done for today, President? Speak of the devil. The librarian-san. Movement restraints, interference, debuffs, the scariest opponent for large groups of enemies. Everyone seems to want to continue, but we are going to stop here, for today. Everyone is rushing too much. They're too anxious. Haruka-kun is certainly going to be climbing up on his own, eventually. Saying that, she left. Just like me, she spent 11 years at the same school as Haruka-kun. Librarian-san knows Haruka-kun very well. Good grief, what is the point of worrying about Haruka? He probably doesn't even need any skills. Looks like Kazaki-san, who knew him only from high school, had the same opinion. For some reason, their attitude is clearly different towards Haruka-kun. That's because Haruka-kun is different. Thinking about it will only leave you more confused. Even Oda-kun and the others were saying in unison that worrying about him is stupid. From their way of speaking, it seems that they know or feel something. But it is the people who are saying that who are rushing ahead the most, said Vice President B, who we had to drag back to the camp when she tried to break through solo. I'm friends with her since high school, and I'm pretty sure that I can call her my close friend, but for some reason, I feel like she might be the one that I understood the least. Just why is that? During a battle, I'm beginning to get the same vibes from her as Haruka-kun. She generally fights in the rear, but as soon as I take my eyes off her for a moment, she begins crushing enemies in a melee. But isn't her job a great sage? Well, she doesn't take any injuries, though. Not a single wound. No way. Is she using her breasts to repel attacks? Boing or something?